Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's topic is still we are in module 3, but in the final section it's gonna be a fewer more videos upcoming, but this video is about the developing programming construction, and we are beginning with the procedure. So we will understand what is procedure, why we are using it, and so on, its benefits and practice, and then I will show you how it's gonna be created in SQL Server. So let's begin and dive in. We all know that structured query language is one of the most prominent language for database management, offering extensive flexibility to the knowledgeable developer like you. so, so the most important and one prominent portion of the SQL is the procedure, and the stored procedure is a group of SQL statements that are created and stored in the database management system, allowing multiple users and programmers to share and reuse the procedure. So the stored procedures can accept input parameters like anything you wanted to get into n. It's like a black box. You wanted to put into something inside the black box and then sending something inside the black box, and this black box is doing something according to your predefined structure, procedure structure, and returning or may not returning the value. So this is called the procedure. So the expectations with the black box is that it need to run according to plan. So black box is nothing, or procedure is nothing, it's just a plan. So we need to do the plan, we need to create and store somewhere, but it has a lot of benefits and lot of need to talk like why and when you should use stored procedure in SQL Server. So the number one part is coming, which is reduce complication and execution time. So stored procedures are recompiled, that are compiled whenever your application code invokes a call. So once you execute a stored procedure, it remain in the cache, saving the execution time so you can get faster results. So mean that your query runs its syntax checking first time, and then it's plan selected and execute the query, and it then go to the cache. So it will remain in the cache all day. Whenever you wanted to use, it will pick up from the cache and give it to you. So it will save your time. It's not gonna take much time. So that's the number one benefit you are gonna find with this. And then you have come to the next, which is the promote reusability of code. Definitely stored procedures are gonna stored into your database, and it's kind of program, or it's kind of plan, you already predefined plan, you already saved, like you just do any task and you program it, or you create a program and a plan that this is the plan I'm gonna move it. So this is same stored procedure is gonna store, and it's gonna be reuse again and again. Remember, and just think that you have a lot of complex queries that need to be run to get specific result. So whenever you are running that query, what it's gonna happen, it is remain, checking, indexing, and loading, uploading, recompiling, and so on, and it consuming your time, it's consuming CPO, it's consuming a lot of things, and then it's giving you a result. Think about, you have huge data and you are getting a huge list of your data. In that case, your SQL will run and it will come take longer time to come back to you with the result, or it may not come back. So these are the reasons. For that reason, we are using the procedure which is promotes reusability of the code, like we have multiple users are sitting, and everyone wanted to use the same query, or wanted to run, let's say for example, everyone wants to insert records into one table. So what gonna happen if these guys are gonna run insert at a time or different time? What gonna happen? It every time CPU will be engaged, and it go back again to the same procedure what I was showing: syntax checking, plan selected, query executed every time, or and each guy is doing same thing. So you can see how much heavier is with the CPU. But if you have a store procedure, it's just gonna come to cache and it distribute, or it gonna work for you in a very fast way. So it not gonna compile again and again, it not gonna run and query again and again. It just give you a result in a quick and a very appropriate time. So it's a time saving, and it says that reusability, like one piece can be used by multiple people. That's the mean of reusability. And then the third part is high security. Definitely the high security stored procedures are secure. You should prefer them when your application is data critical. Like I was giving an example, any application can just access stored procedure without the need to give the entire database read, write, execute access to entire database. With store procedures, you can choose the exact store procedure that a user or application with the role can execute or access. So same thing, what I'm discussing, these guys are using the critical query, but because it is safe through these stored procedures. So that's the high level situation, but this solves a major issues known as SQL injection attack, where hackers can inject malicious statements in the query code to get results that you shouldn't get otherwise. That is the most frequent attacks, you can say, being done by the hacker. If the procedures are not there and hackers are getting into the database directly using SQL query, then it's gonna be a big issue. It is it is not protected. So to protect from the malicious state attacks and the prevent injection attacks, we need to go through these store procedure, where the store procedure is like a black box, and it's giving you access through the cache, and you are safe, your data is safe, and hackers are in a trouble. So that's the main thing, or main purpose, should be the main purpose, and that's why we are using it is procedure into the database. My suggestion and my good practice is, even if I'm doing modification, if I'm doing insertion, keep on doing insertion in one table multiple time, or almost every day. What I'm doing is I'm creating the procedure, and in the procedure I'm just asking user to read the procedure and just insert. It's just simply the external way of doing, like I created the procedure here, insert data, for the author table. You remember I have an author table. I hope you understand my database as well. This is the author table, and we have multiple columns here, 3 columns here. So author ID, author name, and book ID. So what I'm doing through this procedure, I'm asking user to give the data externally, and then this procedure will interact with the database, and then insert your value into the database. So it is the safest way, because the procedure is stored already. It is the safe and protected. So procedure is doing this job for you. You are just entering the data. So to make it more proficient and the effective, you can use the error handling. I told you I'm gonna come back with this topic later on, but we can handle the error handling if we have suspicious data entered through the user. We can trap it, we can protect from inserting into the data, and we do the precautionary measurement, whatever is needed. So this is what exactly I'm talking about, the insertion indirectly. So this is my good practice. Even if I'm deleting something, I'm not asking user to delete directly. I'm giving these kind of solutions to them. So that's why we are using stored procedures. So now come to the next part, which is the best practice. Why we are, what is the best practice when we are using the procedure? So what is the best practice for in this? So the first point is the first point is, I'm telling you, the use the set no count on. No count on is simply, if you can see this by yourself, so it is showing each and every, if you inserted 5 rows, it will give you 5 messages, which is occupying the CPU day, time, and everything. I'm just gonna show you here how it is working. This is the simple query, 2 queries I'm running, and sorry, I'm sorry. So yes, so this is simply if you run any query like this query. So if you are running any query, so you will see in the message it is showing 7 rows and this, and but it is the select statement. When you inserting and updating, it will give you 7 rows updated. So that is occupying a lot of space. Think about the huge data. So it's gonna give you this much. So in saving these kind of messages which you don't want to read even repeatedly, you need to set no count on in the beginning of your statement, on the top of the statement here. So once you start, when you set this and then you begin with the query, it will remove these messages from the message box. Now next, come to the second point, which is the schema name when creating or referring database object in the procedure. It takes less processing time for the database engine to resolve object names if it doesn't have to search multiple schemas. It also prevents permissions and access problem caused by users' default schema being assigned when objects are created to the user without specifying the schema. So this is very, very important, and I'm gonna take you there. Before that, I'm just showing you what is a schema. So schemas are simply you can read the DBO. This is schema. So I have only one schema, which is DBO, because this is my personal SQL server, so I don't have much schemas. But think about the server where multiple schemas are working and you have to find out. So see here, I wanted to go through the schema. I need to run this select asterisk from the sys.schema. So it will give you number of schemas there, how many schemas are there, because I'm using the DPO. So for that reason, you can see the DPO is coming here. The DPO is all the DPO. This is the schema, default schema I'm using. Let's say, for example, if you wanted to pick up the tables in the what is in the specific schema, so you can run this select this query. I will share this query with you, but this is something schema and object, sys object and sys schema, where I'm saying object dot type description or schema dot name, object dot name, schema dot object ID, and I'm interjoining these both table on schema ID and schema ID both, and I'm saying my default DPO is DPO. I mean my schema name is DPO, and I'm running this. So when you run this, you will see that your default DPO is here because you choose that, and then it is giving you the description, your object ID, your table name, or type descriptions are there. Is it table, is it view, or what? So in this way you can you can use the schema name like dbo.author, dbo.book. So this gonna be taking you, what gonna happen is when you are using this kind of here, this kind of selection, the CPO will understand, take you very quickly to this schema and to this table. It will gonna be a very quick for you. So this is the benefit of this. So the next is avoid wrapping up function around column specified in the where and join clauses. Like you can see here, it is showing in this we have two queries, and I'm gonna take you there and then we will talk about. So doing so make the column non-deterministic and prevents the query processor from using indexing. That is the main thing. Let's go, and what I'm doing is, this is the query, two queries I created. These are the same queries. The only thing what I'm doing is I'm using wrapping up functions into the where conditions, and I'm running the queries, and you can see that the results are the same. But if you go back, see the messages, so it going for both messages here also. If you right click and say display estimated execution plan, so in the plan it will give you the first query plan and second plan, and you can see here exactly query 1 cost relatively to the batch is 34%, and here it is a 66%. So that much, you know, the space and the area is being occupied, or the CPU is occupied, and this much it is taking. It just double only the same query I'm using, but because these are small queries or small data, it's not giving you much headache. But if you go to the huge data, then you will see that how it's gonna be difficult, that how it is preventing from the indexing, and then your query cost is increasing when you are using your wrapping up functions. So that's the drawback of this using this. So please cautious using using wrapping up function in the procedures. So the next one is avoid using scalable functions into select statement, and the avoiding using a scalar function in select statement that returns many rows of data, because the scalar function must be applied to every row. The results behavior is like row-based processing and degrading performances. Definitely, when you go each one row, and in one row you are picking only one thing, and then going back another row picking one thing, and then you think you have thousands of row and you are picking. So in this case your scalar functions give you a worse situation or hard time if you are using. So what is a scalar, by the way? And I'm just giving you an example, I haven't created it. This is the example when you are running. See, that we created a function, and then we begin with the scalar is using select statement, and the statements has so much of work. I mean, case select cases. So this is called the scalar. So in the function or procedures, if you are using scalars, these scalars is gonna take a long time. So avoid using that. Then come to the next part, which is avoid the use of select asterisk. See, asterisk is doing something, you know that what it is exactly doing. When we are saying asterisk, it return everything to you. Even if you don't want to look, it will give you all the rows, whatever rows you have. So that is the asterisk benefit or drawbacks also. But when you are using the columns name, what you're doing is you giving less headache to the database, to the schema. It will straight away goes to the schema, go to the object and select whatever you are asking, and it give you a choice that what you need, what you don't need. You just need to skip and create your simple query, and the most simple, the most frequent, the most fastest query ever you will find in this. So avoid using asterisk. Avoid processing or returning too much data. I mean, if you have too much data and complex query and you are running, that is not good. You have to break. You have to, I mean, don't think that this is the procedure and I created and this procedure is gonna give everything because it's gonna come to the cache every time I have blah blah blah. No, it's not like that. Its procedure is also a guy like us, and you are giving so much of job, so much of bulk data to return. So think what gonna happen inside the box. So avoid this. Handle very carefully when you are creating procedure. This is what all you need to do is use explicit transaction by using begin, commit, and transaction. Definitely, if you are using explicit transactions type like begin, commit, commit transaction, you know it's gonna be give very good results, because when you are time to time using commit transaction, so the CPU will moving with the wrapping up things. So this much is completed, commit, this much is completed, commit, this much completed, commit. Now we are beginning and then the last one's gone. But if you are going everything, the huge query or huge procedure and to the CPU, and you are saying do it, think what happened to this guy. So use these kind of things to avoid your procedures stuck somewhere or abnormally behave abnormally. So always use error handling procedure. I'm gonna come back, guys, again and again. I'm telling you, it's a big chapter. I will come back to you error handling. But if you heard about explicit, you can use explicit also. But if definitely Error handling is the best practice for using procedure and functions, where if there is something, because you are inserting, you are waiting outside something happening in the box, so you should have someone is there to check, yes, everything is going on correctly or not. If it is not, then someone is should be there inside to let you know that this problem has come, and this problem is inside is there. So that is the error handling procedure is doing for you. This is very important. Using the default keyword on the table column, you remember in my previous video I've talked about what is default columns. Go back and check. These default columns are very important, very useful, and it is gonna be a very useful if you are using procedure. Use nulls or not nulls always, whether you are in procedure and function, guys, use null or not null. There is nothing going on if you are typing null or not null, but it's give you not, it's give you sometimes headache. Oh, why should I type null, why should I type not null? But you are giving good, therapy to your CPU. You are treating your CPU nicely like a king and queen. So you have to do that in this way, because they are doing a lot thing for us, so why not we help them? So this is the best practice of creating procedures when you are in the. So we'll talk about create basic procedure and parameterize procedure. Let's move here. You remember, if I created the procedure, we need to begin with the let me hide others so you will be confused. This is the question. So create procedure is a parameter. Create procedure and procedure name. You name any name you can give, but it should be appropriate name so that you understand that this procedure belongs to what. So it should be meaningful procedure. Then if you want, you can eliminate that also. If you wanted to eliminate, you need to provide the static values here. But in this section, what I'm doing is I'm asking user to provide the values to insert into the author table. So the value is author ID, author name, and book ID. So once we complete this portion, then we start the second portion, which is begin to end. Between begin to end of the procedure is the area where you can manipulate, or you can create a query, you can create so many calculations, whatever is needed based on your requirement in the procedure. You can do that here in between, but it should be meaningful, it should be resultful. So here what I'm doing is insert into author table, author ID, author book name, or author book values. What values? We want values from the user. So these are the parameters which are coming from outside, need to provide here. It should match the values of data type of this table or of this column. So first column is integer, we need to provide integer. Second is character, we need to provide varchar. Third is integer, book ID, we need to provide integer. So here you declare in the same format. Don't forget to say as begin. Okay, then once you're done, you need to run this. It will not run because I already created. So you run this. Once you run, now the second portion of this is declaration or the execution portion. So in this we have to declare integer, which is return type, which is the local one, and then we need to say execute, or we can use execute exec as well. And then this variable @rc is equals to dbo dot stored procedure name. And then you need to provide the values. So remember, you only provided the data type here. Now it's an actual area where you need to provide the value to insert into the author. So this already been done. So we said A, and then 210. Now collect everything together and say execute. Now you have this select statement ready, and you can see the data has been inserted. So this is the procedure. Now when you go to this procedure, you will see it is already been created, and it has parameters and everything is available. So the create procedure with the parameters. Parameters is just you got the idea how it is working when we are doing input. The other example I can give you here with the output as well. So one input and one output. So input is just the user is inserting or injecting a value into the procedure, and output is something after the procedure inside the function. It will return the value through the procedure or the function, which is output. So what I'm doing, create procedure, get emp title, department, I'm taking department number as a input, and emp count as a output. So number of counts of this department, number of employees into the department. So the query I created as begin select I took tables. One is employees or one is job. Definitely I need to move to the master because it is in the master. So one is for the employee and the job. So employee name, last name, job title, and then employee from employees E, job J as a synonyms. So where j dot job is equal id is equals to e dot job id, they are. So the job in the jobs table, job id is the primary, and the employee table, job id as a reference. You can see here. See, this is as a foreign key, and if you go to the job, you will find the job. So this is called the primary key. So in this way we are joining without using any inner join. It's just a simple join, and then select asterisk count, e count is equals to row count. So it is what it is doing, it will return the value. Emp count will return the row counts outside, and then end. Now run this and see how it's working. It is successfully completed. You can see the result, and now you need to get the output. So for the output, I need to write down output. So what we are doing is we have to declare, definitely we need to declare a variable, declare local variable, which is declare count int, execute type procedure name, department is equals to 2, and the employee count is equal to cnt. It should return into cnt as a output, and then we need to say give the statement select ECNT, which is the declare variable, as employee count. Simple. Just collect everything and run. So you, in the first part, what you're looking, you are getting the result of your this statement. This is the statement you are getting the result as a output, because we run the select statement, so it is returning these values because we entered the department ID 2, and now department ID 2, and it's showing number of records or number of employee as a return. So it returned 2 employees into that department. So that's how it is working. You can change the department. Let's see if it is exists. Yes, it is exists. We have 3 employees on this department, and this is the department details. So in this way, you can in and out. You can give input and output. So now come to the multiple input and output. Definitely when we move to the advanced, we definitely looking forward so much of input, so much of output. We don't need to create multiple procedures for one in, one out. Definitely you are gonna do that in this way. So the next portion is the let me just get next. It already created, so no problem. So what I did is I created a procedure with the multiple values getting in or multiple values coming out. So create procedure get emp maximum department description describe procedure, and I think this is something I did wrong. So department integer, number of year hired integer, amp count input as a output, integer as a output, department integer as a output. So as began, now begin with the procedure. What procedure is gonna do? It's select doing the employee and department and job, all three together. So select this thing, employee, employee ID, job title, department count, and from where the job ID is equals to, from job ID is equal to link to this table, then this table link to department, and department is equals to 9. So you are giving static in this, and then you said, and you are finding the number of years. So you are saying number of years is 37, less than equal to 37. Whoever have number of years less than 37 should come into this list. Then I'm saying select emp count rows. So number of rows should count how many employees are there in that department. And then I run another query for the output, which is for the department. So count department, number of department, same, where the hire date as a year less than equal to number of years hired, which is coming from here as an input. And then I created this from here to, let me get down, it's gonna be a little bit more. So I created from here to here, and I ran, and this one has created, this query has created the procedure. Now come to the execution part of this procedure, output of part. What I did is I declare count and department, and I run execute get emp max dp. Department number I give 9, and then I need to give the number of years hired should be is equals to 37 I gave, and inside it is doing less than equal to 35. And then emp count, I need to declare a variable to get the value into that. So I am emp count and department. Now what I said, select count, employee count, select department, total department, and then run this. So here you can find, see, so the first query is run the employee ID, job title, and the number of dependents. 1, 2, 3. So sorry, this is the dependent. Number of as. I need to say as, so it will give the value here. So it the header dependent. So number of dependent, and then after that the relationship. Definitely the children should have relationship, what relationship they have. So the second query run accordingly, and then the third query is saying three count means 3 employees, and total dependence of these counts is 5. 3 1 oh sorry 4 3 1 2, so 4 and 5. Yes, 5. I'm sorry, so my maths is bad, so it's 5. So in this way you can give number of input and number of output you can get. This is the beauty of this procedure. Everything is hidden, just you need to run, and it will give you appropriate result as you expected, as per your expectations. Now come to the encrypted part. Encrypted part is very interesting. I always like it because whatever I want to create, I wanted to hide it. I don't want to show to the users. I don't want to show my subordinates to reach out. So in that case, encrypted is very good. So whenever you wanted to encrypt in the sense that you wanted to hide from outside or from the user, they come know that what is going on, how it is working. You need to hide this from the users define. From the users. So I will show you how it is working now. What I did is I created a procedure which is GetEmployee with encryption. So you need to give encryption. Let me give you first idea, then you will see how it is working. I mean how it is run, because you need to be curious. So first query I'm running this one, select object ID from sys.syscomments as where text is null. So let's go. Sorry, don't run it like that. It should run in this way up to here. So you can see that the queries which I run, even create procedure, create views, whatever I did, it is not encrypted. It is showing unencrypted. Okay, it's showing null in the encryption part. But when we because I already created this, when I run this query up to here, the same query, object property is encrypted, object definition, object ID code from sys.procedure, where object property, object ID is encrypted, is equals to 1. I will share this with you. And then if you are running this, you will see that only one get employee, which is encrypted procedure, come forward, because I said encrypted is 1, should be 1. So whenever encrypted is there, it will show the SID as encrypted one. So that means you understand it is encrypted. The code is hidden. There is no code when I'm running both together, so you will understand. Oh, okay. I will run here, remove this so that everything should come. So you will see the difference. See here, it is null. So I created the procedure and it is showing the definition of this procedure in the text because it is not encrypted. So wherever you will find one, it will show null. So here it is this. But if you go down, see the code is null. Nothing is, you will not see any coding of this procedure and no one can find it. And it is very good for the hackers or for the one for the people who doesn't want to know what is going on inside the procedure. They just want it to run. It's good for them. So it just kind of uh, hidden policy you are using. You just created something and you just doing that. So for that reason I created encrypted one. So see, it is showing the lock. See the locker is here, and then parameter is, see, it's just a simple return. That's why it's not showing. So in that case, if you execute employee, it will execute everything. It will give you the result as per the procedure, but you will not find, or no one else will find, what is defined into this GetEmployees. So that's why it is encrypted. So this is the one of the most important secured policy we are sometimes using when we are using critical data, when we are using critical calculation or procedure into the procedures, so that in that case we have to hide the coding from the outside world. For that reason, with encryption is very good for you to use. So the alter table, so in the alter we need to write alter procedure, procedure name, and then we need to define everything everything as it is, but it is alter. You need to change, if you're changing from 10 to 20, like 30, you can do it, because integer you cannot do much anything there, so just alter it. And then maybe you may want to eliminate the name from here, so you can eliminate, you can keep only this and just execute run. So it completed successfully. So if you refresh it and go to the procedures, which one is insert data, so you can see it's 30, it changed already. So in this way you can do the alteration of the procedure. You can alter as much as you can, but on a certain sometimes you can change this also. Now you wanted to change the other user, it depends, but the structure should be same. You can amend the section as structure as well. You can add more variables, you can add insertion more, you can do calculation and then you just insert. So it depends what is your requirement, but you can do alteration as much as you want. So the grant procedure is simply you are granting the procedure to access to your this user. So you just write grant execute or dbo dot uh, uh, procedure name to nas3 grant execute on a schema mydb to nas. So you can give it on the schema as well, or you can give. So if you are running this, oh, I did already. So it done successfully. So dp, I don't know what happened on schema db2. So I will let you know later on when we gonna work on the access permissions or users definitions. We will come back. There's something wrong. Then you can drop the procedure. Simply drop procedure get employee title. You can, it will be dropped. So if you wanted to view the structure of the table, any table, you should use this query. I will share this query with you, and it is the sys.objects. Sys modules are the tables and parameters we are using for the procedures. And then try to run this. You will see that you have get employee, stored procedure, parameter null, definition null because it is encrypted. But here this is not encrypted, so you can see get employee title, SQL procedure. It has parameter, this much parameter, and it has this definition. So you can take the copy and you can come here by, let me go. You can come here, copy and paste, and see the definition is here. So in this way you can find the definition of any procedure, but SQL Server is giving you enhanced addition, like you can go here and execute scripts. You can run the script and say create to and new. When you say create to new, it will create a duplicate uh, procedure that you can run to create new. Because it is already created, it will not run, it will give you error. But you can change different name, and if you wanted to create same copy, you can do it in this way. So you can see the procedure type details here. But if you wanted to see the procedure from outside without using SQL Studio for the SQL Server, you can run this query and it will give you this kind of. I hope this session is gonna be so interesting, or it's gonna be a more interesting for you. If you have any question, any query, or anything, any clarification you needed, please come forward and write it down into the comment section. I will be there. You have my email address. You can email me. I'm in Instagram as well, so you can go there and look at my same videos over there. Please share and do subscribe. I need subscription. I need more friends. I need more students working with me and learning from me. So the next topic will be the function, and I'm gonna do so much of things in the function. So stay tuned, get ready, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.